Hey, this is Nafka, and today we're looking at all the famous commanders that have just been released for Drop Zone Commander. The famous commanders were first mentioned in the main rulebook, but we didn't see any of them until just recently with the release of Reconquest Phase 1. And with that, we now have all the famous commanders available in the book. There's two for each faction. And now, with the first wave of them released, we have six of them available. They come with four command cards each that you get to mix into your deck. They're all made out of resin. The ones that obviously are aircraft come with flight stands and whatnot. But they are very well detailed, brand new sculpts or variants of existing models. And you can see the amount of detail on this tank for the feral resistance. And the cards, as far as the cards go, the cards are very unique. Some of them are quite powerful. You will note that famous commanders are very specifically for just for fun games, not for the tournaments or they're not allowed in the tournament packs. And you'll kind of see why. I mean, some of them are quite powerful. Some of them are not. But like this one here, this Cunning Ambush card, for instance, this allows you to take a unit that is currently in readiness and come in from any board edge. That can be quite devastating and kind of a one-trick pony. I mean, assuming that your one card, comes into your hand. But with a Commander 5 rating, there's a good chance that it will. So, I mean, the command cards are very cool. I do like them. I think they offer some fun, unique opportunities to when you're playing the games. And I even have a game scheduled with them tomorrow night. So I will be putting this guy together and seeing if I can get him painted up today or tomorrow before the game comes. So that's the feral resistance. This is Commander Foley, or whatever his name is, Carl Foley, and this is his Hell Hog. Now, I'm a big fan of the Hell Hog model. It's one of my favorite models, simply because you have these jet engines that sit up here like this, and they rotate up and down on the model as long as you remember not to glue them in. They're very, very fun models. And each of these models, because they're variants, they do have new pieces on them, new parts. You can see there all those little dots there. Those are actually the kills on each side. How many kills or targets it's blown up, I guess. This one does not come with the option for the missiles. It just has the Satan railguns, as you can see there. Although this does come with some missiles underneath the wings. And that's because this does come with extra weapons on it, being a famous commander and whatnot. This does allow for some extra abilities also for your for different units. Some of them allow you to activate guys early. Some of them allow you to reroll any dice this turn. So I mean, there's a lot of nice cards. I mean, this one is a fun one. This allows any sphere of influence card to be to now become a global card. So I really like this card. It's a fun one. But anyway, that's Commander Foley. Now the Scourge have a very fun model, and this guy is the dinosaur. And I'm not going to put them all together. He looks very much like a Desolator, but this is the underside of him right here. And I will get these models together, and so that we'll be able to all check them out, fully functional. You can kind of see how he goes together there. The dinosaur is really powerful as far as what he has available to him. Well, look at this. This is how this model goes together. You always wonder about how these things go together and how well they do. I'm going to do this one-handed here. But there you go. That looks like how this thing's supposed to go together. The Hawk War Games, I mean, as far as the models go, they're always of such high quality, and the resin is, nearly unbreakable, unless you really just get out and your whole goal is to break it. But I've thrown these against walls before. Those of you that are familiar with my site. But this is the dinosaur. He's got a really cool long-range gun that just unleashes holy hell on just about anything that's in its way with strafing, so it can split its shots up. It's a very cool model. It's only 3 pieces, comes with a flight stand. It is probably one of the easiest of the commanders to put together. But then again, you can really get down there and see into the crevices and see the amount of detail that Hawk War Games puts into these models. So let's take a look at the UCM. And this is Commander Kato. It's got the unique top piece here. The unique command deck, I guess, as you want to call it. Pretty much all glass in comparison to the other one. And, this does come up and down. I kind of just stuck it in there for now, but once the model's together, you can raise and lower this during the game if you want. And the same thing goes for the flight deck. If you're not familiar with what a ferrum is, this is a variant. This will actually flip open. There's a hinge there that allows this to stay as a movable part. And the same thing goes underneath too. The treads, they go underneath, and these treads do not have to be glued in so that they can actually rotate as well. That's just the how tight these models fit together. But you can see here, this thing even has guns underneath here. I didn't quite see those before, and I don't think that those are on the regular ferrum. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know right off the top of my head what the gun exchanges are on these things. It does seem to have the missile pods right here that the other ferrum does have. And it has a lot of drones. And the drones look like they're the same drones, so there's not any real difference on these, I don't believe. But I know that Commander Kato can actually, it's a she can actually take possession of a drone and have one reaction fire, which is not a normal ability of a ferrum. As far as the cards go, these are some of the, these things just look powerful. They may not be as much as you want, but look at this Rebellious Street card. This allows you to basically activate a unit, a squad that is already activated. So say you have 9 sabers. Okay, so now you just suddenly reactivate them again, and they get to shoot and fire and unleash ridiculous amount of firepower right back onto the battlefield. So very nice. Another one is this Alpha Strike. This allows you to activate D3 friendly squads containing non-transport aircraft. And these activate before any other actions begin. So you get to, before the round even begins, you get to do an Alpha Strike. So imagine if you have these with, say an Eagle gunship or 2. These things can just unleash before anything happens before the round. So, like I said, these are for friendly games. You can kind of see why on some of these cards. Let's take a look at the Hades variant. For the PHR. Now, I don't have a normal Hades, but this is not the standard gun that's there. And you can kind of see the detail on it, if I can get in close. I know that it has a slightly different look, and I play against a lot of PHR players, so I know that they're different, but I just don't know all the ins and outs of every model that these guys put out. But you can see that even the undersides of these models that you won't see during the game, Hawk War Games really gets into the detail and makes sure that even when you get close up, even if you dry brush over these, which will pull out a lot of that detail, that even close up these models look great on camera. So, and that's just a little bit of a leg, so always kudos to Hawk War Games and how tight these things fit on. A lot of pieces do not need to be glued. But here's the new gun. You can kind of see there. Now I have faced this guy being proxied, so I don't necessarily know what each gun is. But I have faced this guy. I was not able to kill him even though I tried. PHR Hades are just difficult. And even that, they've got a new command vehicle coming out here soon, probably next month, which is a command variant of the Hades. So a lot of Hades Type 3 Walker are going to be available for the PHR. Now, I haven't even looked at these cards, but, you know, obviously when you look at these cards and you see the first one says Rain of Fire, that looks like it's just going to destroy something. Oh, here, let's just take a look at it. All vehicles in this battle group may fire their weapons twice this turn. That's pretty harsh. I mean, even though the second time their accuracy goes to 5+, that's still pretty dang powerful. Crush them, defensive wall, perfect firing solution. So, and you can probably see those here as I'm, you know, showing them instead of me trying to read them while we're going through. So, very cool. Very cool variant. The PHR Hades. Let's take a look at the Shaltari. I know there's a lot of Shaltari fans out there. And this is another variant of what I call a gun. The other one's gun is much larger, but this is another nice one. Now this is the Clairvoyant, I believe, but the Shaltari models tend to have the most detail on them, and you can kind of see there as I zoom in here all the detail in this model that will come out once you get in there and really paint this thing up. And even underneath on the underside. So, once again, I have not looked at the command cards, so you can kind of get a first look at them here. But you can see this one here obviously allows you to look at the top 10 cards of your deck and place them back in any order. That's, you know, some pretty powerful cards. A skillful feint, intellect. So some very cool cards, and this is your first look here at the new commanders, the new famous commanders on Fate 212. So come back soon. Check the site. We've got all sorts of new rules, balancing rules that just came out. And as soon as we get more information on next month's releases with the new the standard command vehicles, we will have that out as well. Especially if I can get a hold of them early or even on time, I'd still be excited. So we can kind of talk about and see what they are. So definitely, if you play a lot of friendly games, take a look at these famous commanders. And of course, check them out on the Hawk War Games site, where you can find, you know, downloadable rules for the game for anything that's released or changed or altered. So, anyhow, that's it, and we'll be talking to you later.